Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, scholars and dignitaries, welcome to another episode. Welcome to my world. Hello, friends. So, one of the greatest actualizers of a high quality of life is responsibility. To succeed at life, one must fulfill their roles at all stages of life. That means to be responsible as a child, as a student, as an adult, as a parent, as an employee or an employer, as a spouse, and so on. Each person enters into and progresses through different stages of life, and each stage carries different roles and different responsibilities. For success in life, one must maintain a high and consistent level of responsibility throughout each of those stages of life, no matter what your role is and no matter the responsibilities you have. And yes, to fail to carry out your responsibilities in one aspect of life can certainly carry over into other arenas of life as well. Conversely, one of the greatest destroyers of life is irresponsibility. In fact, it may be the main personal attribute that erodes, corrodes, and decays the quality of life we all want and need. Of the tens of thousands of people that feel that they have not attained the life goals they wanted, the vast majority neglected the one attribute most important to a person in any station of life: responsibility. In short, responsibility is a necessary aspect of life. It is fulfilling needed tasks, chores, and duties that allows life to continue in an ordered manner. Higher levels of responsibility are much more often correlated with higher levels of quality of life. In healthy families, all family members pitch in and carry a shared weight so that it doesn't fall upon one person. One can count on others, trusting that they will carry through on their responsibilities. And this helps the family operate smoothly with less anxiety, confusion, tension, arguments, and fighting and pain. It's also been found that people who are responsible in daily activities do tend to get ahead more often in life. That is, they receive more promotions or higher raises at work because their supervisor can depend on them, can depend on their productivity and efficiency, and they don't have to constantly stand over them and monitor their work. Responsibility is dependability, conscientiousness, reliability, and trustworthiness. The reverse of responsibility is irresponsibility. It is inconsistency, unreliability, unpredictability, and often results in disorder, chaos, confusion, and problems and difficulties of all sorts. Of course, some of the basic examples of responsibility include getting to school or work on time, taking care of others' needs properly, paying your bills, rent, or mortgage consistently, paying taxes, and fulfilling your duties and obligations as assigned to you. A responsibility is a task or commitment that can either be basic, that we're all expected to do, or tasks assigned to you or between people, businesses, or organizations that must be adhered to and completed in order to fulfill your personal, family, work, or ethical obligations, or to satisfy the terms of a commitment or contract. In many cases, other people depend on you performing your duties in a responsible way. And for instance, in industry, you can't complete a product if somebody else is negligent or irresponsible in producing one of the components before it comes to you. So, why aren't people more responsible? Well, sometimes it's because it's hard work and they need help. Sometimes it's because of procrastination. And sometimes it's just because people don't like having to answer to others. But generally speaking, responsible people are self motivated. They see something that needs to be done and pitch in to do it, even without being asked. So, how do you become more responsible? Well, there are several ways to begin. Do little things just for the sake of doing them. Start a project, and then be sure to follow through. Responsible people don't want to quit a project that's half done, and they're proud of a project well done, especially the hard projects. They place a high value in helping others. They aren't afraid of hard work. They have self initiation. They challenge themselves. They'll make a game out of a responsibility. They love to keep busy. They love to exercise their creativity, even in routine chores and errands. They have a thirst for new things. And most important, they understand their obligations to help support their personal, family, and social life. Studies show that responsible people do have a better quality of life overall. Research continually shows that work, motivation, organization, and follow through form better adjusted people and people with higher levels of satisfaction and self-satisfaction than those who either avoid or perform obligations with little detail, little energy, or even leave them unfinished. There are many types of responsibility as well. First is responsibility to the family. A necessary aspect of family life is fulfilling needed tasks, chores, and responsibilities for the success and the betterment of the family, and this results in healthy and functional families. And as the level of responsibility increases, the level of family maturity increases, and the level of functionality increases as well. Everyone benefits when things that need to get done are done in a timely and responsible way and without undue stress and chaos. Essentially, the basics of responsibility are learned in the family. Second, we have an obligation to be morally responsible. That means to act in accordance with the moral principles that are important to your religion and to live your faith accordingly. Third, to be socially responsible means to act in accordance with the principles that support your friends, your neighbors, the environment, humanity itself, and your government at large. Feed the poor, clothe the naked, give shelter to the homeless. Now, the hardest part of this, of course, is taking responsibility for our actions if something goes wrong. But even then, people respect a person who admit and own up to making a mistake and who works to fix it. George Washington, father of our country, freely admitted that he chopped down the cherry tree. He wasn't proud of it. He knew he did wrong, but he had honesty, integrity, and he accepted responsibility for his actions. These days, however, there seems to be a tendency to want to escape responsibility. But remember, as Washington accepted responsibility, he laid the foundation of his personality, his character for the rest of his life. And he provided this country with an important value that has to be a guiding cornerstone for our evolution. So when anyone does anything wrong, it's critically important to admit our responsibility, make amends to people we've hurt or replace things damaged, be willing to accept any accompanying punishment, resolve not to recommit the wrongdoing, and yes, we should ask forgiveness. Remember, a man or a woman is responsible for himself and to others. And as they say, with great power comes great responsibility. And I say everyone has power. How we choose to use it is up to us. In fact, most of the troubles that we suffer today are because people have refused to accept their responsibility or have reacted to it in a negative and distasteful fashion in their roles and obligations in life. You are responsible for creating the life you want to live. If you don't do it, who else will? Now, this is a tremendously empowering realization for so many people. When they realize that they are responsible for themselves, then they are free to stop making excuses and stop waiting for others to save them. Instead, they start changing their own lives. Everyone wants a moral compass, but that starts with a call to responsibility. Hey, be safe, be well, and may God bless.